Wicked from Alliance after that win versus the Copenhagen Wolves. A grand applause here from the guys in the studios because nice game from you guys. So the first thing I want to ask you is what was the biggest difference for you when you played them last week and this week?
The two major differences was that, first of all, we learned to play together as a team, which we didn't really know how to do last week, as you guys saw. And then we banned properly this time. Like, we knew what they played because we had the week one, we had all the information. But last week we didn't have that much information. That hurt us a lot.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the top lane. You went for Trundle, who normally, according also to Rocket yesterday, is not the best pick versus Renekton. Why did you go for Trundle?
The reason I went for Trundle is I don't think Youngbuck is the player that usually snowballs his lane. He just farms and does a good job in teamfights and so on. So I felt comfortable being able to equal farm or being a little behind him, and at that point Trundle is still better than him, unless he snowballs.
You were up in your island in the top lane doing very well versus Youngbuck. We had a lot moving around the map, and they tried to go 2 versus 1 versus LeBlanc mid to shut Froggen down. What was your reaction to that in the team?
We didn't really mind that at all, because we just used the normal 2v1 strategy where we try to dive bot lane, and we just thought it's a normal game, it doesn't really change anything, and Froggen is really good at staying defensive.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the team right now, because week one didn't go too well. How is the atmosphere right now? Are you guys feeling really happy? You feeling confident? How is it?
I would actually say from week one, like, losing so hard just motivated us because we needed to prove ourselves. And it was a huge hit to us that we lost 4 games, so it was a huge motivation.
So how did you take it personally? We had Froggen here yesterday and we asked him. There was a lot of stuff on the internet, obviously, comments all over, and there were some things about your performance as well. How do you look at that?
Well, there's always going to be haters. You just got to take it as motivation and prove them otherwise. That's the only thing you can do.
I like that answer. I'll give you that. But I want to go back a little bit to the Trundle one, because we see all these new picks in the top lane. Is there anything else you've prepared you can maybe tell us a little about? Is there a Warwick coming up?
If I had anything prepared, there's no point telling anybody because it's a surprise.
That's a good point, of course. We can't trick you, Wicked. But now that you're kind of coming under steam, you're doing a little bit better. You have 2 wins in a row now. So can you now more look at the table and say, these are the teams we're really going to have to look out for. These are the things we're really going to have to work on.
Well, Fnatic and Gambit are looking really hot right now, so those are 2 teams we are scared of. But apart from that, we just need to focus on our own play at this time.
And how do you actually think you will improve like now? What is the goal for you going forward with this? How will you improve? Because you're already playing pretty well now, a lot better than last week, but how do you keep improving?
We need to fix our teamwork. Like, it's still good, but we still lose a few dragons early and stuff like that. So we just need to work on objectives, because I think our laning phase and individual skill is really good right now, but our teamwork still lacks a bit.
Before we go over to our next thing, I want to ask you finally, next up, Rocket versus Gambit, 2 of the strongest teams during the league right now. Who do you think is going to take that?
I think Gambit is going to take it. They're solid, they always play consistent, and they have a really good early game.
Tvisho?
I'll give it to Gambit as well. I mean, Rocket has impressed me, but Gambit is just looking so strong.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll be seeing that later, how that match is going to go. But now we're going to see what you guys at home had to say about our Twitter question of the day, which was, of course, which role is having the biggest impact in the European LCS and why? Here are some of the responses. The first one is from @JDooley93. Support is having a huge impact. The unconventional picks force teams to adjust to things they haven't played before.
Supports are a lot stronger now, and they help the AD carry snowball more. And if the bot lane gets ahead now, the support and AD carry can instant kill the opponent. So it's really important to snowball bot lane.
And the second one is from @LucasCron. Top lane has had the greatest impact. So often, team fights are determined solely by the engage and frontline positioning.
And I mean, we have to agree. We see every time, especially in this game, Youngbuck going in, instantly bursted down, and then Copenhagen Wolves just falls afterwards. They do not have the biggest impact in the early mid game, where it's pretty much just a farm versus farm. But once you get to the team fight, you need this big tanky guy, and I really like that meta.
Anything to add to that?
No, I just love being a tank, so I love the meta as well.
And then the last one is from @Citronelli. ADCs are definitely determining the games in EU. Reckles, Mr. Raleigh, and Celiver are really showing what an ADC does. The KDAs are crazy.
I agree. If you manage to snowball the AD carry, the opponent will never be able to kill your tanks because he's not strong enough at that point, while you're just killing the front lines and then you're going to win every single team fight. So I would say AD carry is the most important role right now.
Oh, wow. Nice words from Ricket there. Thank you guys very much for your answers. Of course, keep and coming. And remember to follow us @LOL Esports. And of course, using that hashtag LCS. And now, thank you, of course, for your guys' input on all that stuff. And we're going to go over